For centuries, we've fantasized about alien life on other planets. And because life as we know it needs water, we imagined seas on the moon, rivers on Mars, and lakes beneath Europa's icy surface. So far, we've discovered only dust, except on this watery blue marble, where inner space hides creatures as weird as anything extraterrestrial. There are oceans of oddballs, with strange shapes, strange rituals, and strange bedfellows. Right here, in Earth's own alien abyss. Oceans. The great unknown. To understand this weird world, first you gotta leave that land brain of yours on the beach and dive right in. Lesson number 1. Forget what you already know. Because down here, nothing is as it seems. Not a plant, not a rock. This won't kill you. This surely will. But in this mysterious underworld, being bizarre alone won't win you life's daily battles. What you need is help from a friend, an accomplice, or even a significant other. Teamwork is the name of the game. And the stranger the relationship, the better. Yesterday's adversaries could today be your allies. What do you picture when you hear the words alien invasion? This? Maybe this. Or even...
Who are you?
We're from Mars. Don't be afraid.
But did you think a small, spiny sea creature that's only as big as a golf ball? Cute, right? Wrong. Our story begins in sunny California. These folks don't know it, but a pestilence is wreaking havoc in their local seas. Unearthly invaders rule the seabed here, and they devour everything. Under their relentless attack, the ocean floor is a desert. But it wasn't always like this. "15 years ago, giant kelp forests covered these coastal seas. Kelp were the OGs of these California waters. Their forests remove millions of tons of carbon from the atmosphere each year. And many species flourished within their foliage. This was once a bustling underwater metropolis, and life was good. The kelp's only annoyance were sea urchins that nibbled on their fronds. But that was okay, because sea stars kept them in check. However, that all changed when higher sea temperatures began killing the sea stars. With them out of the picture, urchin populations exploded. Disaster for kelp. Their soft fronds have absolutely no defense against urchin teeth that can cut stone. Today, conquering urchin hordes wipe out entire kelp forests. creating what are called urchin barrens. Nothing can stop them. Well, almost nothing. There is a place along this coast where sea urchins finally meet their match. This is the realm of the sea otter, a marine hunter extraordinaire, guardian of kelp forests, and sea urchin connoisseur. For these predators, no hunt is easier than an urchin hunt. Tough, spiny shells? Not a problem. Otters bite through the underside, where spines are shortest. It's an all-you-can-eat buffet. And the otters make the most of it. A single otter will polish off up to 1,000 urchins each day. That's enough to keep the rampant urchins from spreading unchecked. Maybe through this interspecies relationship, kelp all along the coast can get a respite from pillaging urchins and rediscover their former glory. Because where there are otters, there is happier kelp and healthier seas. And that is how the alien abyss works. A complex web of relationships where fortunes are intertwined and help comes from the most unexpected quarters. But things aren't always this complicated. Some weird relationships are much more straightforward. Like the one between the snapping shrimp and its neighbor, the goby. The shrimp is an obsessive burrower. It digs all day, clearing rubble away from the entrance to its burrow. It really doesn't do much else. The shrimp even finds food in the debris that it moves. And all this while, its neighbor just stands there and watches. But see, here's the twist. The goby is its personal bodyguard. Because the shrimp's got a problem. It's nearly blind and useless at detecting danger. Case in point. It's no good having a fortified bunker if you don't know exactly when to duck in. And that's where the goby comes in. With powerful bulbous eyes to spot danger, it's a perfect protector. While the shrimp goes about its business, it keeps one of its sensitive antennae on the goby. Incoming. In return, the little fish wants to share the bunker. And the shrimp is okay with the arrangement. It's the least you can do for someone who's just saved your life. Ever heard of a toxic relationship? Well, in these mysterious depths, that's actually a good thing. Meet one half of this deadly romance. Sea anemones. No relation to their harmless terrestrial namesakes. Don't be fooled by their benign looks, because these things are killers. Much like their distant free-moving cousins, the jellyfish. Armed with stinging nematocysts on their tentacles, anemones inject a toxic chemical cocktail into their victims, which paralyze them. This anemone has no time for subtleties and consumes its prey alive. So yeah, an all-round nasty customer. As these poor fish will soon find out too. Wait for it. Any moment now. Strangely, the anemone doesn't attack. Because the clownfish-anemone alliance is a love story for the ages. These fish proliferate the warmer, shallow seas around the world. Always in partnership with the anemones. Their noxious affair starts early. Clownfish lay eggs in coral niches, close to anemones. It's a surefire way to keep egg burglars at bay. They know better than to get close to the vicious tentacles. A week after hatching, young clowns don't stick around. All on its own, this baby clownfish attracts unwanted attention. Eventually, something will come along that wants to eat it. The only way to survive is to find its very own toxic partner. This anemone is perfect. The clownfish is born with a layer of slime that makes it immune to the anemone sting. Safe from predators, these stinging tentacles become a sanctuary for baby clownfish. But it's a two-way street down here. In return, when clownfish are older, they chase away larger fish that want to feed on the anemone's tentacles. It takes out the trash and even delivers scraps of food. Without clownfish, anemones often die. But by means of this unique partnership, everyone wins. So, basically, friends turn up to help when you're in need. But spare a thought for the loners, the recluses, and the outcasts. Making friends isn't easy when you're just plain weird. Remember when we said, these things are killers? Now, let's take a closer look. Closer still, and hold. That right there, stuck in the anemone's vicious coils, is a pearlfish. These eel-like fish... try that again. Pearlfish are found in the... As you can see, pearlfish are useless at defending themselves. Out in the open, weird alien-like killers give him no chance. This pearlfish desperately needs a place to hide. The rear end of a defenseless deep-sea dweller is just the place. Right, we can't just brush past that information. Sea cucumber are large, spineless beasties that some would describe as a walking colon. You'll soon find out why. They're a simple marine organism with a no-frills lifestyle. A leathery skin covers a spongy tubular body. And inside, a digestive tract with openings at each end. At the top end, their fan-like tube feet filter out floating particles of algae, tiny animals, and organic matters off the sea floor. Which brings us to... That's clean sand, by the way. Poop-scooping scientists calculated that on just one reef, sea cucumbers dump 5 Eiffel Towers' weight in sand every year. Their words, not ours. And that's not all. The sea cucumber is basic, but it's also basic. When their gut breaks down sand, it creates calcium carbonate, which they then poop out. This lowers the acidity of its surrounding water and helps coral form their calcium carbonate skeletons. So, sea cucumbers are vital for the health of the planet's reefs. They're real nice guys. So nice, in fact, that when the pearlfish wants sanctuary, the sea cucumber welcomes it. And the little fish benefits from this open-door policy. It's safe in there because most predators find the sea cucumber rather disgusting. When it moves around on the sea floor, the pearlfish has access to new feeding grounds while still staying at home. Food, lodging, and a free ride. Now that's a vacation. But what the sea cucumber gets out of this strange relationship, we'll never know. The best relationships are all about give and take. But what if the givers and takers never meet each other? Never really interact with each other? In the eccentric world of misfits, that's still a very important relationship. Like this one between a hermit crab and the maker of the shell he's borrowed. Hermit crabs are true nomads. Wherever it goes, its home goes too. But the shell is just a hand-me-down. Unlike many other crab-like beings, hermits can't grow their own. So they form partnerships with mollusks, squishy snail-like things. Well, really just their shells, and only after their owners have discarded them. It's prime real estate because it's relatively light and protects them from attack. But for these crabs, each shell is only as good as the next one. Every time they outgrow their shell, they must discard it and move into a new one. It's a relentless, lifelong quest. But the world is changing around them. Suddenly, they find themselves surrounded by alien beings. Us humans. And we are destroying the only home the hermit crab has ever known. In the aftermath of cyclones, beaches of Southeast Asia are littered with trash. It's a particularly rough time for hermit crabs. Shells are in short supply. But among all this debris, pragmatic hermits find a solution. With declining mollusk population, they found a new, completely oblivious partner. Us. Bottle caps, measuring cups, film roll containers. Anything goes. Soon, the beaches teem with alien trash robot hybrids. Half crab, half plastic. They aren't exactly tailored to the crab's contours, but no one's complaining. Desperate times, desperate measures. Deep within the coral crevices of the North Pacific lives a creature with a face for radio. A beast that looks like it's graduated from alien school. But in fact, lives a life that's straight out of the 1950s. This male's mission: find a wife. With misshapen, crooked teeth, mottled, bumpy skin, and an unblinking stare, the wolf eel won't be winning any beauty pageants. But it doesn't bother about what the world thinks. Only one opinion truly matters. That of this female wolf eel. In the wolf eel world, she is his and he is hers, for now and forever. Theirs is a tender, old-fashioned affair that is incredibly unusual under the sea. Old-fashioned or not, what comes next should be no surprise. A baby boom. Secure within their intertwined coils lies the fruits of their relationship. Up to 10,000 newly laid eggs. The loving male now turns protector of his unborn children. For 4 long months, the parents will guard their precious cargo. But it's a full-time job. Hunger soon pushes the male out of his cozy love nest. Breakfast is served. You can see why the eel's teeth aren't in the best shape. But every winter, he'll replace his old, worn-out teeth with new ones. Having eaten his fill, he heads back to his lair to swap places with his partner. That's right, wolf eels only look unearthly. Their everyday life is decidedly not weird at all. In fact, their whole life cycle is pretty mundane. Grow up, find a partner, put food on the table, start a family. Over and over and over again. For the rest of their lives. There's only one thing that they don't have to do. That is raise their weird-looking but otherwise unremarkable kids. After hatching, baby eels are on their own. They head into the North Pacific Ocean, looking to forge their very own supernormal, unweird, prosaic futures. Allies that help each other are ideal citizens. But there are some weirdos in this alien abyss that have nothing to give, but specialize in mooching off others. Say hello to the freeloaders. Take a moment to consider the remora. From below, it looks like a fairly normal fish. But from above, This fish wears a permanent alien suction disc helmet. It's a marvel of natural engineering. The head disc is a device that helps the remora get past a crucial design flaw. Without an air bladder to control buoyancy, it struggles to do normal fish things, like swim and stay afloat. So for transportation, gangs of these suckerfish hang about, waiting for a ride. This shipwreck serves as a station of sorts. It's their grand central terminal. Transit route number 1, reef sharks. Reef sharks are the express train. They're fast swimmers, and there's almost always onboard dining. Great for the remora in a hurry. But the travelers have other options. Transit route number 2. Gigantic whale sharks and manta rays. They're more like the cruise liner. Not as fast, but definitely roomier. And more likely to travel long distance. It's a chance for remora to get to better feeding grounds, and even to find new mates. Remoras will even catch a lift on a dugong. Really? Might as well walk. But sometimes, holding on can become tough. But sensory organs below the remora's sticky disc tell them when they lose traction, which gives them time to readjust. Not everyone is thrilled with this ride-share arrangement. For ocean dwellers, hydrodynamics is everything. The ease of moving through water with as little drag as possible is the cornerstone of marine locomotion. Clingy fish hanging off kinda puts the brakes on this. The Romans were right when they named these fish remora, Latin for hindrance. Remoras are like hitchhikers. They catch a free ride, but eventually they get off. But there are some freeloaders that don't let up, ever. They spend their whole lives scrounging off their hosts. Take, for instance, barnacles. Yeah, they can harmlessly stick to rocks and stuff, but they also have a nasty habit of sticking to living, moving creatures. Forever. It all starts here. Baby barnacles. For a few brief weeks, they swim free. This part of their life, this little part, is called settling down. It's when they decide where they want to live for the rest of their lives. What these barnacle larvae want are a modern mobile associate. No one knows when or how they climb aboard, but they do. Turtles offer a good surface to work with. And of course, these guys. Actually, these are manatees, not dugongs. Just as slow, just as easy for fledgling freeloaders to grab a hold. But the best lodging sites of all, whales. These living, breathing underwater blimps are moving islands of flesh and blubber. For larvae wanting a contemporary space to settle, whales are the real deal. Using cementing enzymes, they clamp down on spots like the head and chin, where water flow is consistent. so that when they pass through plankton-rich waters, they can grab tasty tidbits. Like so. Of course, this was filmed on a rock. I mean, there's no way our camera operator's going to get that close to a whale. Trust us, barnacles work the same either way. As the whales migrate throughout the year, the barnacles get a free ride to nutrient-rich waters, feeding all the time. And what of the whales? Well, they don't come out of this relationship as complete chumps. Whales fight over mates, and hard barnacles are like brass knuckles. It adds an edge to their punches, and sometimes even acts as armor plating, which helps them take a blow or two. So, remora are annoying but temporary. Barnacles are lifelong, but don't really do any harm. Just freeloaders being opportunistic? Or is this a slippery slope? Enter the harlequin shrimp. A male and a female out to get some food. First things first, catch a ride. Sea stars could be the perfect shrimp transport. But the bizarre shrimp takes the concept of catching a ride way too literally. Because sea stars are not just their way to get from point A to point B. It also happens to be their favorite chow. That's right, these dainty shrimp are a criminal couple. Talk about taking onboard dining to the next level. What better way to keep your meal fresh than jumping on it and chomping away at it? All while still riding it. However, some sea stars have a strategy to get the deadly duo off their backs. While ravenous shrimp focus on eating their fill, a desperate sea star sheds its arm. A ruse to divert the killer's attention. It might just be able to sneak away. If the plan works, it can later regrow its lost arm. But it isn't that lucky. The sea star's shed arm only momentarily distracts the killer couple. They're right back on it. So that escalated quickly. As far as unhealthy relationships go, losing an arm in the process seems just about par for the course. Where some see hideous alien monsters, others see friends. And vice versa. It's all a matter of perspective down here. Out on the seafloor, crabs are patsies. Their shells give off an illusion of invincibility. But they're just not always enough. Enter the fire urchin. Armed with venom-tipped spines, they're all-round vicious customers. But for some, these prickly freaks are saviors. Their spines make for an impenetrable mobile fortress. A boon for the beleaguered crabs. Like these little guys. Zebra crabs ride their fiery chariots all day and all night, never once getting off. The urchin protects them from potential killers and carries them around. And how do these freeloaders show their gratitude? By slowly, imperceptibly, gnawing away on urchin tissue for food. However, the damage is so minimal that it doesn't kill the urchins. But the crab family soon find a way to redeem themselves. by turning this eccentric relationship on its head. This crab's modified back legs have just one purpose: to haul urchins around. Having a venomous pincushion for a headdress keeps predators at bay. Unlike their parasitic cousins, the zebra crabs, the carrier crab isn't just a taker. It's also a giver. In exchange for full-time protection, the crab carries the urchin around to new feeding grounds faster than the urchin could go on its own tube feet. It's like having a chauffeur on call. The only downside being you go where the chauffeur wants, and not the other way round. And because you're wondering, yes, this means it's possible to have a crab riding an urchin, riding a crab. Carrying bodyguards around for protection is so effective that yet another crab has picked up on this nifty trick too. This pom-pom crab's oddly shaped pincers are in fact not pincers at all. These alien tentacle-like appendages are actually deadly anemones. Remember them? Jellyfish family. Venom-tipped, killer. The defenseless crab knows all this too, which is why it holds two small anemone clumps in its front pincers like a freaky cheerleader. Perfect to ward off anyone that comes too close. And that's not all. In return, when the crab forages, the anemones get food scraps and more oxygen from the flowing water. For a change, this story has a happy ending. The crab-anemone collab is a prime example of two completely different organisms getting along just fine. There are other alliances in this alien abyss, where predators and their prey set aside their differences for a common good. In the depths of the Earth's own alien abyss, there are some that have cracked the code to survival. It's this: not every killer is out to get you, so long as you are willing to help them out. Because predators have problems of their own. Ectoparasites. As is the norm in these alien oceans, weird problems warrant weirder solutions. Cleaning stations. Designated no-kill safe zones where an enterprising bunch of tiny oddballs run a cleaning service. And their shop is now open for business. This glass shrimp has its first customer of the day. A pufferfish. The shrimp gets started, gorging on parasites and dead skin from the fish's body. The puffer must rein in its natural hunting instinct, because a shrimp this size could be an ideal snack. Thanks to the reef's unspoken peace pact, the shrimp can totally concentrate on the job at hand. Just above, domino damselfish hover in anticipation, waiting for the shrimp to flush out parasites. And now for the tricky bit, the deep clean. The gills are a parasite's favorite hiding spot. Left unchecked, they can infect and even kill the puffer. But not if the cleaner shrimp has its way. It picks them off expertly, making sure to get into all the nooks and crannies. On other cleaning stations around the world, business is always brisk. Specialist cleaners attend to busier clients on the go. Cleaner asses remove dead and damaged scales, and even simulate mucus production, often the first line of fish immune defense system. Most importantly for the clients, it probably feels fantastic. Who doesn't love a back rub? Not even this mysterious deep-sea dwelling freak of nature, the molar molar. This slow-moving, tailless giant looks decidedly otherworldly. But he's a distant cousin of the tiny pufferfish. Only he's 3 meters long and weighs a ton. That's almost as big as a small car. He usually likes to hunt in the deepest, darkest chasms of tropical oceans. But today, he's come up to the surface. Because today is spa day. A bit of exfoliation, a bit of sun, and to get rid of teeming parasites. Cleaners like these bannerfish enjoy a parasite banquet. Because each molar molar can have up to 54 species of parasites on them at any given time. If it weren't for the dedicated cleaners, these bloodsuckers would infest the giant fish and cause them a great deal of discomfort. In the hands of the tactless, it can be a dangerous job. But years of evolution has helped these cleaners master the fine art of getting a meal without becoming a meal. Getting along and working together for mutual benefit is the surest path to survival in this alien abyss. When you're small and powerless, banding together with others of your kind is not just advantageous, it's necessary. On the seafloor around Indonesia, a dark cloud hangs about. An advancing alien swarm that's bewitching, hypnotic, ominous. These are baby striped eel catfish. Advancing in unison, their movements mimic a larger beast. It strikes fear into the hearts of predators. Ones that would readily attack and devour a lone young catfish. Confident in their invincibility, the swarm begins to feed. They completely work over the seafloor in a mesmerizing steamroller fashion. Fish at the rear swimming over the ones at the front, only to be replaced again. This way, they leave no bit of seabed untouched in their search for invertebrates and algae. While the ones at the front are face down in the sand, the ones at the back keep an eye out for predators. A ribbon eel is the only one that dares. But young catfish have a secret weapon. Toxic pectoral and dorsal spines. And the eel gets a mouthful of it. Back to formation for the young escapee. And back to the drawing board for the chastened eel. Tightly packed, shimmering, shape-shifting shoals can confuse your typical run-of-the-mill predators. But can it hold its own against some of the smartest brains on the planet? For far too long, we've searched for intelligent life above our heads, when we should have been beaming signals downwards into our oceans. Because that's where you'll find the second largest brains on the planet, with an IQ greater than that of chimps and gorillas. Alien intelligence? You're looking at the leading contender, orcas. Their remarkable intellect has helped them rule all of our planet's oceans. That's more than 70% of Earth's surface. For more than 6 million years, which is far longer than we've walked the planet. Maybe they really are hyper-intelligent beings. Not convinced? Well, let's put their smarts to the test. Introducing the test subjects. Hungry Norwegian orcas. And here's what they're after. Large shoals of herring. Fatty, juicy, rich source of protein. And now here's the problem. As we discovered earlier, tightly packed, fast-moving small fish are spectacularly hard to catch. Not least when you're a 6-ton beast in a sea with no cover. It's a code they must crack. And their time starts now. Step 1. Turn on their secret superpower, echolocation. Pinging out sound waves and catching it back, they get a mental picture of anything in their way, and even see inside it like an X-ray. The herring are tantalizingly close. Step 2. Trap the small fish. Orcas turn to their most potent weapon, their brains. No one knows exactly how they communicate, but soon, orca brains are syncing up. Working as one, the pod pushes them towards the shallows. Now the small fish are stuck between the sea floor, the shore, and the orcas. Step 3. Immobilize fast-moving fish with their very own stun gun. Their tails. Powerful tail slaps shock the living daylights out of the small fish. And the slap-happy orcas pick them off one by one. Game, set, and match. Social beings. Tick. Problem-solving brains. Tick. Phenomenal superpowers. Tick and tick. So, you see, these giants could easily be aliens, who've mastered a strange and inhospitable environment to become the kings of these alien oceans. Working together works. Because in the end, every critter that lives in these ungodly depths has the very same goal: survival. And as is the norm, stranger the problem, weirder the alliance. In this alien abyss.